Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, thank you very much. So the recording is off for now. Just would like to welcome all of you, and so you are 95. Then people are coming join us. In the meantime, I would like to ask Marisa, our guest speaker today, to check a microphone and the webcam so that we're sure that everything works. Marisa, can you try your microphone and your webcam? The recording is off now, so we just would like to try out the system before starting the recording. Daniela, can you try your mic and webcam as well? Okay, here is Marisa. Hello, Marisa. Everything okay with the microphone? Yes. Would you like to try speaking? Okay. Okay.
So, hello everyone, can you hear me, Letizia?
Yes, Daniela, okay. So we can try the we can start the recording and okay. I'm starting the recording now. Everybody, this webinar is part of Techno CLIL for EVO 2017. EVO is Electronic Village Online. It is an international. This initiative is from the 9th of January to the 11th of February, and is a free online teacher training initiative on CLIL and ICT, so content and language integrated learning with the use of technologies. The initiative is made up of different webinars with guest international speakers giving hints and suggestions on different topics, mainly related to CLIL, language learning, technologies. So before presenting our speaker, our guest speaker today, Marisa Constantinides, I would like Daniela to say a few words.
Yes, I'd like to say something about our social networks because there is a huge community of people, techno leaders, we name them, that join us in social networks. So you can follow us on both on Facebook and Twitter. In Facebook, we have now more than 5,000 people that are following us and just taking part in the different events, webinars, and sharing ideas and reflections. But we also have a Twitter account if you want to stay up to date on what we do. And if you want to receive news in real time, you can follow us. Here are our different accounts. And you can also share your ideas. It's a pleasure for us if you use the Twitter account, the Twitter hashtag Techno CLIL 2017. All the webinars are recorded and shared on our YouTube channel. That is Letizia Cinganotto and Daniela Cucurullo. You can find that both on the Moodle platform, of course, but we share that also through the Facebook and Twitter. And for instant messaging, you can join our channel on Telegram. It is telegram.me/technoclil. Or if you want to contact us, you can send an official email to leda.technoclil@gmail.com. So try to join us and don't miss this great opportunity to receive news and about the latest events in real time. Thank you, Letizia. If you want to leave the floor to Marisa and introduce her.
Yes, thank you, Daniela. So Marisa studied applied linguistics at the University of Reading and has been a EFL teacher, trainer, ELT writer and conference speaker for 20 and more years. She is the director of CELT Athens and trains teachers face-to-face and online on a variety of courses, including the CELT and Delta. She also regularly volunteers on TCL EVO workshops, moderates ELT chat every week, and blogs on TFL Matters and main blog. She has published books for young learners using literary texts and numerous articles on teaching, learning, and educational technology. And most recent role is that of Community Manager for the Learning Technologies, SIG. Marisa, it's the second time, maybe a third time, because we, Daniela and I, it's our third edition of Techno CLIL, one in 2014, one last year, and this is the third one. And Marisa always wanted to join, volunteered for Techno CLIL. So thank you, really thank you for being always on our side. So it's a great pleasure and privilege for us. So Marisa, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you also see my video? And where are you all located? Can you very quickly, there's this chat stream is coming out so thick and fast. I don't know where you're coming from, but South Italy, Napoli, near Milan, Sicily. Oh, Dio mio. Sounds wonderful. I'm sure there with you. Rimini, Naples, Iberia. Oh, wow. Fantastic. So you can all hear me, and you're all very active in the CLIL, Techno CLIL EVO workshop. Wow, full of Italy is here. And are you all English language teachers, or do you teach other subjects as well with language teaching? Are you EFL teachers? Philosophy, others, English, history, other subjects, language, maths. Lovely. Okay, great. I'm basically a trainer of English language teachers, but teaching language and the subject matter is not alien to me. And in fact, every single English language teacher, whether they call themselves a CLIL teacher or just simply an EFL teacher, it's inevitable that at some point you will be teaching some subject matter. Isn't that true? So today I'm going to share with you some tools that I think are going to be useful to you, both for language and for some of the subject areas that I have seen mentioned. And I'm going to begin straight away with a very simple tool that is easy to work, to use in class and online. And that's using a comic book tool, which is Make Believes Comics. I think I'll give you the link later. And let's get going with our content. There are 3 statements here. I speak some French, I've taken singing lessons, and I love hiking. 2 of these are true. One of them is a patent lie. It's very untrue. So which one do you think is a lie? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. Okay. Right, okay. And the winners are those of you who said number 3. Who said number 3? Just write me. Or a smile is also good. Yeah. So you won. I do speak some French, and I can prove it to you. I have taken singing lessons in my life. I trained to be an opera singer. I will not subject you to a demonstration of my operatic skills, but I have done that. But I absolutely hate hiking. I hate every sort of exercise apart from dancing. In fact, okay. So Digital tools are handy for any kind of stage of the lesson. Well, great. Nelly, you will not see me on your hiking walks, but, you know, I still love you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my content and talk to you about storytelling and digital tools. And I begin with the concept of storytelling, but basically, I want you to think of storytelling as in a broader sense. When we say stories or narratives, we don't only mean fairy tales or short stories. We mean any kind of human story, any kind of description or narration that you can generate from your students or that you share amongst yourselves as adults. I think for young learners and for adults as well, stories help them acquire language. They help them acquire values. They have inbuilt knowledge which can be acquired through the storytelling. They help them be identify with their own culture and be more aware of their own culture and of other cultures, which for me surely is a huge step towards building a global community, building a peace education movement, if you like, as well, because own awareness and other awareness are very important in building an international community. They help them build conceptual different concepts and abilities. Also knowledge of facts and science and history. So storytelling has been vital through the ages. It's a vital tool. Before even teachers were created as a profession, we learned about our tribes, our race, the facts, the survival skills, the knowledge that we needed to be human through storytelling. I think connected very closely to CLIL, I am not a CLIL teacher myself, but you will probably be familiar with the 4 skills. Storytelling is, as I believe, ideal for learning content and school subject matter, and I see that some of you recognize the 4 C's framework. Lovely. So stories give you content, they give you a basis for communication, they build cognitive abilities, and they raise awareness of culture. So there's every good reason to use narration, storytelling in every school subject. Whether it's maths and you're telling a story with numbers, or describing something with numbers which involves maths. For example, I often give my learners a number of numbers on the board, and I ask them to guess what each number refers to. And some numbers refer to items, to people, to length, to size, and so on and so forth. That's maths, surely, and that's done through a story. Stories can also help students develop their cognitive abilities, their oracy and their literacy, their numeracy as well, their ability to concentrate, which particularly for younger learners is quite important, because in the primary school, which I see some of you are involved in teaching, younger learners find it difficult to concentrate, and often storytelling time or story building time is a time when they can concentrate and enjoy learning, because it's easy to concentrate for them and in the listening activity. I think also for me, the ability to learn very much is based very much in all the research that I am familiar with personally is very much connected to the ability to good auditory abilities. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this kind of research, but children whose teachers develop their auditory capacities generally tend to do better in school across the board in all the subjects. Auditory ability has been found. Hello, where are my slides? There you are. Auditory ability has been found to connect very well with the ability to learn languages, to learn math, to learn history, to learn all sorts of other subjects. I want to also mention multiple intelligences, although multiple intelligence is a myth, has been kind of debunked somewhat. But however, living in a multimedia world where information is given to us in all sorts of ways, we get information visually, auditorily, and also tactilely in our own daily experience. We need to give students stories in a variety, through a variety of media. Finally, the 2 points that I want to make: the stories build critical thinking, and the telling and retelling builds creative thinking. We don't just language teachers. We really need to accept the fact that we are educators. I think many of you will know this pyramid of Bloom's taxonomy. It's revised Bloom's taxonomy. And a lot of what we do in class builds up to the higher order thinking skills. I don't know if I can find the pointer somewhere. Yeah. HOTS doesn't mean what you think it means, but it means higher order thinking skills. So if you want to engage your students in higher order thinking, in creating, in evaluating, so that means critical and creative thinking, you need to build up knowledge. Higher order thinking skills do not stand on their own in vacuum. They're not created out of thin air, but they are built on layers of knowledge, of knowing, of recalling, of understanding, and using this knowledge. So this is the lower order thinking skills. And both of these ends of the scale are vital for learning and for building knowledge and language awareness and language use. So storytelling, listening to stories, feeds into the learner's remembering and understanding and recalling stories. Later on, if you like, they can apply some of the knowledge gained from stories, or if they're in a language class, they can analyze the stories and think of the ideas in the stories or the language in the stories. LOT stands for lower order thinking skills. And HOTS for higher order thinking skills. So you cannot have higher order thinking without lower order building of knowledge and recall. And storytelling helps with all that. If any of you are interested in various ways of showing Bloom's taxonomy, I have a Pinterest board which I'll be very happy for you to follow, because I've got lots of different Bloom's taxonomy boards that I have collected from various sources. And in these particular And on some of these boards, you will even find the words and the processes that describe what is higher order and what is lower order thinking. Okay. Someone wants to talk to me? Hello. So I think listening to stories or reading stories can very naturally lead to storytelling, and reading them can equally well lead to story writing. So learning, listening, reading can build up knowledge that can generate productive language skills. And I think the other thing is that stories can very easily become homework, which is more purposeful and meaningful for children, particularly for younger learners who don't like busy work and mechanical exercises. But it can be more challenging but doable for them. It can stimulate them and generate creative thinking. And story making is something that students can take pride in, and something which showcases their learning and their acquisition process, for example, to their parents or to their own social community, something which is a great motivator for learning of any kind. Hello and welcome to any latecomers. And I want now to show you some tools that I have used and some tools that you can also use. In most of these cases, the links that I'm going to share with you are links that I can see because I am logged in. Can I just explain to you that if you cannot see anything from a link I'm sharing, it might mean that you have to register in order to view the content. Okay, so the first link that I'm going to share with you is from a site that I'm very, very fond of. It's called Storybird. And in Storybird, which is a place where, does anybody know about Storybird? You do. Nellie knows it, and Anna. Quite a few are familiar with the tool. It's a wonderful tool. It's fantastic. And I use it for narration, for narrative writing. Let me see if I can show you how it works here. And how it works is you choose one particular artist, one particular artwork, and you can go in here, and that's the beginning of your storybook. All these images that you can see on the side can be pulled in, and they can be made into a page of your book. As you can see here, you can choose the style, what the book will look like, what the cover will look like, and you can add pages, and the pages can have a different writing on each, and you can have lots and lots of different types of artwork built into them. I want to share a particular example in the texture. Please tell me if you can see it. This is a book that I chose because it's books that a child, not my student, but you can find lots of books online. Yes, you can. What you do is you choose a kind of artwork that you like, and you start adding pages, and you can take any of these images, and that can be your next page. If you have an overhead projector in the class and just one laptop, it's called Storybird, and you can find it here at storybird.com. This is something that you can project to your classroom, and even your class or groups of students can choose the first page, the first episode of the book. They can write the first few lines, then another group can write the second page, and so on. Eventually, the book can be even published and even printed, or it can be embedded on a blog. And I can show you, could you see the page that I shared with you earlier? The British History page? No, okay. Well, if you can't see it now, you will need to log into, let me just check to see if there is a YouTube Storybird demo. Yes, there is. I'm going to try and show you. Okay, let me try and share this with you.
Storybird lets anyone make visual stories in seconds. Using a large range of artwork from illustrators and animators around the world, you can use these images to inspire writers of any age. It's a simple idea. Students and teachers can read other stories or create their own using these animations. To read a story, go up to the top bar and click Read. You can choose a wide range of stories that were written by others. You can search by age, by format, by categories, or you can just explore what was popular or new and noted. If you want to create your own writings, go up to the top and click Write. From here, you're able to choose from a wide range of artwork and create your own stories. I'm going to look under the hashtag Quest. If I want to enjoy this illustration, I can click the Use This Art button. For a long form book, a picture book, or a poem, I will choose Picture Book. I can use the marker to add another image. I can preview other images on the margins. I can replace the image, and I can start typing in my story in the text box. To add additional pages, use the plus sign on the lower right. To save your story and work on it at another time, click Save on the lower left. Go ahead and click on Menu. You can save and close. You can publish the story online, or you can invite a collaborator. When you click Invite Collaborator, this allows you to invite others to add their own pages to your story.
So this was a great demonstration, great 2-minute demonstration of I don't know if you can use it online. I think it's I'm not sure that you can use it online if you don't have internet at the school, it's very difficult, but it's a very simple tool. It can be something that you can assign to the learners because it's a very safe website for children, and also it's very versatile in that you can write about different subjects, not just narratives. You can write about British history or Italian history. You can do natural history lessons, and the artwork is absolutely amazing. You just saw one sample of the artwork, but there are hundreds of artists who have collections. I recently even did a webinar on grammar teaching, telling a story of the content of the great debate between people who believe in teaching grammar and people who don't believe in teaching grammar. And I chose characters from an artwork and did a storybird on them. It was fantastic. So you can teach any content that you like through this. I'm going to move to a couple of other tools. This is a very simple tool. It's called Make Beliefs Comics. I'm going to copy the link here. Make Beliefs Comics.com. And it's a very simple tool where you can find characters, add characters, and put speech bubbles. This is one that a class made about having a science lab without goggles. As you can see, the children wrote the word, instead of goggles, they wrote Googles. But, you know, that's it. It's a group of children that did a story about safety in the science lab, and they did it through this great tool. Comics are very familiar to children, and they love writing in the speech bubbles, and in that way they can also exercise their spelling, their writing, their reading, and if they're working together, their collaboration skills. So that's a tool that I really like. There are lots of other tools where you can build stories, like the storyjumper.com. I think this is quite easy to copy, so I'm not going to. Thank you very much for doing that properly, Gabriella. The storyjumper.com has a range of backgrounds that you can see here. You choose a background, and then you choose little characters to put in each scene. So you build a story in episodes with different backgrounds, and it can be a story of my dog or a story of something else, whatever fits your lesson content. This one was taken from about caveman Carl. A class was working on conditions of life, in prehistoric times. One of my favorite tools for this one, this one was about caveman Carl, who had a dog. As you can see, children can print, they can share their stories, they can invite comments, they can print them and share them at home, or print them or display them in the classroom. And one that I really like a lot is Voki talking avatars, particularly for history lessons. You can find, let me share the Voki link with you. Vokis are great because you can share, you can get the children to narrate with their own voice, or if they're shy, they can write the text and they can input the text, and then they can choose one of the voices. I use Voki quite a lot for my own trainees, not just to introduce content to them, for example, to give them guidelines. I have my own Voki. I'll show you one that I use very often. I don't know if you have be able to see it. It's on the front page of a wiki, and this is giving them guidelines. So you can very easily make a Voki of yourself. Oh, yes. I have a Count Dracula Voki myself, and he speaks in a very strange accent because he is from Transylvania and he wants a little taste of your blood. You know, but yes, I love my Dracula Voki. And there are lots and lots of historical and characters and famous people characters. You can find Donald Trump in there. You can find Clinton. You can find John Lennon. And so, you know, you can ask people, your pupils, to create stories, small paragraphs that they can record, or you can ask them to create a page of walkie-talkie avatars that tell a story, different parts of a story. I want to, I'll share a link with you later where I have two characters telling a story. One of them tells the first part, stops the story on a cliffhanger, and then another Voki tells the end of the story. Did you see my own Voki avatar on my wiki? You can play with characters. For example, you can begin a character and you can change the color of the hair, the color of the eyes, the clothes. You can give them different hair. You can give them different glasses, different bling, different earrings. You can really do a lot with these characters. They are fantastic. I'm going to show you a different Voki character in a minute. I'll put the link in a moment. That I use in my own, I think, in the blog post that I wrote on digital storytelling, which is the same topic we're talking about here today, and where you can see some of the things that I discussed and that I've already covered with you. There are two Voki characters, if you have the time to check them out later, to see how one of them can begin a story and the other character can continue it. This is the story of two men in a queue. Here's another one. So as you can see here, you can customize your Voki character. You begin with a basic character, and you can give them different clothes, different glasses. You can choose what voice to give them if you type, or you can record with your own voice. Okay? And you can choose also different backgrounds. If you, when you registered on Voki.com, I also want to show you, Voki is very strong, very big on helping teachers teach lessons. And if you can see this page, there are sample lessons on adding and subtracting with measurements. There are 6 lessons that teachers have shared. Can you see that page? This is, Voki is free. The basic thing is free, but if you want to use certain aspects of Voki Classroom, you might need to pay something, or your school might need to pay something. This is a wonderful tool There are lessons on the nature of science, on kings and queens, on adding numbers, on different shapes and geometry, United States at a glance, multiplication, decimals. It's a fantastic tool, and a lot of different teachers use it. I think I've lost my chat. What happened here? Okay, I've lost my chat. I don't know what I've done with it because okay, I'm back. All right. I was trying to see some private messages and I kind of lost the main thread, but I can see you all now. Sorry. Okay, so all these are through the art of storytelling, and I think you need to remember that we feel compelled to tell stories. One great digital tool for storytelling is word clouds. Are you familiar with word clouds? Yes, this is a really advanced group. So I'm not going to bother you with too much about that. But for any of you that are not familiar with the concept of word clouds, may I share a series of blog posts that I wrote quite a while ago. And if there are 3 or 4 blog posts, so what I've given you is the main listing. The basic blog post to begin from, if you like. Sorry, because there are several of them here as I see. There are more than 5. I'm sorry. Look for the first one, which is word clouds, on my blog, just with this title. And I have listed Taggle, I've listed Wordle.net. I've listed, this one is Tuxedo. It sounds like a sneeze, but it's a fantastic tool. And in Tuxedo, you can put in the words in a shape as well. The most popular one seems to be Wordle.net, but there are many other tools. And more recently, I've been working with some of the simpler versions on my blog. I want to move on to the reasons why digital, obviously, because it's no longer easy to get together and talk, and so a lot of digital storytelling satisfies the learner's needs for meaningful and motivating controlled work in the classroom. And rather than idly-fiddly tiny bits of exercises and gap fills, which I need to confess to you, most of my students consider them to be boring, busy work. And when they write letters to teachers, they tell them to avoid boring, busy work. They are much more of a concrete evidence of progress because it's tangible. You can show off. You can say, "Oh, here's my story." So they're more likely to be motivated to do this type of homework rather than just little meaningless exercises. Also, they can be rehearsed. They can offer rehearsal practice, which is very important for language acquisition. It's not doing meaningless drills. They can form the basis of good presentation skills. And these days, we all need to present something or other. If you're a teacher, you present in class. If you are a salesman, you present a project to your colleagues. You need to use your PowerPoint or presentation skills. So presentation skills have become important for everyone. They can improve report writing and also help younger and older learners learn to tell stories and establish relationships with other LT users. Storytelling is in the heart of human communication. You understand, when we meet each other, we tell stories. What happened to me today? How the other day I went to this shop and I saw this wonderful pair of shoes, and you know what the salesperson told me. And you know, we really communicate through storytelling. We don't just exchange facts about our lives. We share experiences of our lives, and Facebook is truly full of stories. Here's another one. I want to. I'll bring the video in here. A great way that you can integrate video and do a lesson on storytelling. I'm going to show you a little video, and I want you to guess what is happening. It's just a guess at the moment. I hope this is the right one.
Storybird lets anyone make visual stories in seconds.
No, sorry, it's the wrong one.
And backstage coverage we're seeing for the very first time. So read.
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace English for the bit. They had the pit.
I'm going to play that again because you may not have got it.
And backstage coverage we're seeing for the very first time. So read.
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison, but let's go ahead, Terrace English for the bit. They had the pit.
What happened? What's happening? Can you guess what happened in this story? You heard the way, no video. Did you not hear it? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not hear it? She has a problem. Okay. Here's the title. Serena Branson speaks about speech problem at Grammys. What do you think? What speech problem do you think she had? Dyslexia? Okay. She was using child language. It was impossible to understand. Okay. Well, based on the video, which I played a couple of times, it was difficult to understand. It was a strange language. She's just shy. Here is what a class wrote, and they used a tool which is called 40.com, www 40.com. In 40.com, you can put in any content, and it will turn it into a newspaper. So my class wrote, a reporter in a mystery way started speaking an unknown foreign language on television. She was reporting the news about the Grammy, I think, awards or something. And speaking this language, the linguists are still trying to discover this language. Some people say it's from another planet. So the students thought this was this is what they wrote. In fact, after they wrote this, I said, "Do you want to know what really happened?" And they were dying to know what really happened, of course. And so they went to the actual text and read the text. This is what happened. So there is no audio at the moment because I'm not playing a video, I'm just showing you the text. She just had a slight stroke on air, and so she started sounding incoherent. She was saying dibbity-doo, ba-da-dee-goo, goo-doo-goo-doo, ba-doo, ba-ba-ba. And I mean, she was literally having a stroke, and I played that to the students because, of course, they couldn't understand anything. They created this funny story. Then they read this, and we exploited the text. So the storytelling, the digital storytelling, this time I just want to show you a different shape of a lesson. Yeah, she just had a mild stroke, and so she was incoherent, but I wanted to show you how this lesson was flipped. And we showed the visual to the learners, and they created the story using yeah, it was something very mild, and it wasn't really serious. And they created the story, they wrote the story, and then they read the actual story with a lot more motivation, I must confess, than what they would have had we put this text in front of them and said, look, read this story. And they would say, oh, we don't want to read it. Oh, who's this woman? Oh, I'm not interested. So we really need to motivate students to do what they are supposed to be doing, because the fact that we put a text in front of their eyes is not going to mean that they will want to read it. This shape of lesson is possibly best known as TBL, Task-Based Learning. Thank you for the 5 stars. I really appreciate them. So let's move on to another tool, which is really great. It's a great tool for online sharing if you can do it. If you don't, I'll very quickly move over. But if you want to give any speaking homework and you didn't know how to do it, I would suggest that Voxopop is a great tool. It's at voxopop.com, who is the specialist who writes these great links very well. And in Voxopop, I cannot really actually play to you, but I'm going to give you a link where you can see an example. And you can hear it in your own time. Hang on a minute. I think I've lost that link, but I'll share it with you later. Is it? It's this one that I'm trying to find for you. And if you can Google it yourself, I've actually screen captured it, but I can't find the link right now. When I give you the link to my slides, you can find the link on the slides. They're on SlideShare actually. Yeah. Oh no, it's my slides have the link and it's active on the slides. So I'll give you the link to my slides in a minute. So on Voxopop, this is the teacher, and she's recorded her instructions for a story, and the students come in and they build the story in episodes, and they continue episodes of the story. So in order to build the story, they listen to the previous episodes, and then they add another episode. It's a great tool. You can see how many students have come online and done this invention. It's also a great tool to get students to give you a little bit of speaking homework. They could make a story of their own, say, write a story in 50 words or in 100 words, and speak the story to me without reading it aloud or something like that. It's a really fantastic tool. For those of you who are familiar with VoiceThread, the principle is the same. Is anyone familiar with VoiceThread? VoiceThread is another highly recommended place because it's did you? It's very easy to use, and it's very, very safe for children. This is the thing that This is the reason why I recommend it a lot. It's fantastic, and it's a very, very safe place because, you know, children's safety is very important. In some online places, it's not easy. This story, the story that I have here, is hang on a minute. I don't know if my blog post has a voice thread. Yeah, my blog post that I shared with you earlier has an example of a voice thread story. So if you go to the blog post again, I have an example of a collaborative story. So basically what this one worked with, the visual that I put in the middle, is I made it through a word cloud, but I was very sneaky. I added a couple of pictures on the image, and then I uploaded the image, and I said to my students, tell me what you think happened in that story. And if you go online, you can hear some versions of that story spoken by these adult students. Okay. At the end of the lesson, at the end of the homework contributions, I narrate the story to them, and they go on and listen to the story. So I'm sure you don't have time to follow this now, but if you go to my blog post, you can hear the example in your own time. There are other great online tools. For example, this one is a nice one for drawing and creating diagrams and things. Do you use tablet apps a lot? Thank you so much, Carolina. Thank you. If you use tablets, can I share an app that I really... Yeah, well, if you have a big iPhone, my eyes are not that good, so I prefer my tablet. There's a great app that I use where I can actually... I don't know if I have my iPad with me. I could show you it. It's called EduCreations. It's a free app, and you can use it to get the students to draw with their fingers and so on. Where is EduCreations? So this is EduCreations. You can download it freely from the App Store. And you can create lots of different diagrams like this, either by finger drawing, or if you have a stylus pen, you can get the students to do some actual drawing. And Pig's Clips, and I have another one that is very highly recommended, but I have not myself used it yet. However, I will write it because my colleague Leslie Cioccarelli swears by it, and she's a really good teacher, and it's called Explain Everything, and it's used by science teachers and maths teachers and so on. It's not for PC, it's for tablet, Alessandro. Okay, so PixClips is the online version. I'm going to come to one of my favorite tools, which was basically used for teaching at school, and it's called Creasa. I think it's from either Norway or Sweden. It's a Norwegian or Swedish site. I don't speak the original language, so I wasn't sure what was the nationality. Elvira, you are very, very sweet. That's really motivating me no end. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Creasa does a lot of what you do, what I've done with other apps that I have shown you. But I really like it because you can use it for other areas of the curriculum as well. So, for example, here you can see a collection of items where you can get the children to write something or to think about human prehistory. The Christmas Gospel. I don't know Norwegian Wood if it's the song or something else. I'm not familiar with that. A cartoon about the future. How do fish breathe? It's a big question. Sound in space. How does it travel? How does it carry? Asking the priest for forgiveness. Well, you know, in some cultures this is quite important. My perfect future. Look at constellations. So, let's see. This is something that you can do. For example, you're looking at Egyptian history. Look at this. Isn't it wonderful? So you can have characters, as you can see here. So you can have different Egyptians appearing in your story. You can have different gods, because Egyptians had some really fantastic god figures, and some of them had bird heads and stuff. You can have different props. So these are some of the props that I have used. And you can have some different cartoonist effects like bubbles. This is an effect. It's a cloud. And you can have some bursts, you know, for, like this one is a cartoonist effect. I like the one about Roman history. This is the props department here. This is a different background with the pyramids. And these are different props and hieroglyphics and scarabs and stuff, and cats, because, you know, cats were important, and so on and so forth. So the students can write whole scenarios of Egyptian history based on this tool, and it's called Creasa. I don't know if you now have to pay anything about that. I have a free account. I don't know if in one of my blog posts, the one that I showed you, there is a Creasa example. I made a story of Little Red Riding Hood. It's free, yeah. The blog, I will send you the blog post again, because I have a Creasa example. I made a story of Little Red Riding Hood, but you will forgive me. I made a story of a variation of Little Red Riding Hood, in which the Little Red Riding Hood shoots the wolf dead at the end. Because nowadays, you know, it's not so easy to fool little girls. So, have a look at my story. This one is for fun. And I love it because hang on a minute. I haven't really provided you with the link, but I will in a minute. Let me see if it's in my story. No, it isn't. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll put it in my slides when I share them. I'll re-upload them. This one is something that I really like. It's various scenes from Indian films. And you know, Indian films have very dramatic scenes. So what the students can do is they can either put different subtitles, or they can record and they override the teaching voices. I don't know. Can you hear me now? Okay. They can use the microphone to record lines with their own voices. I don't know. This one doesn't seem to be. And this is because it's silly, and students like to do something silly once in a while for no very good reason at all. Like, for example, my own trainees made a little video with the king and the queen, and I was supposed to be the queen, and I was giving them feedback on a teaching practice in a very kind of ponderous voice. I mean, that's the students making fun of the teacher, which is also great because humor has a place in the classroom, and we shouldn't make it all very serious. So let me just close my presentation because some of you have to go. We need stories in the classroom because we need to present language. We can use them to interpret the reading, to dramatize it, to create our own stories for speaking, for writing. We can use them as a lead into something else. And they're a natural part of task-based learning and developing creativity and critical thinking in our learners and generating holistic learning, not itty-bitty, muck-nuggety kind of bitty learning that students cannot pull together. So, you know, a story can be a memory, can be an anecdote, it can be an adventure. I don't know if you know of Animoto. Animoto is also very great. It's great, and it's very simple for the students to use. I'm going to share the link with you. Animoto.com. If you go for Animoto, make sure you apply for an educational license. Educators can use it for free, and they can use it for a longer time than ordinary folk. Yes, free. You can apply for an education license for Animoto. And I just want to close with these words. We feel compelled to tell stories. They're part of human communication, and they're great placeholders for language. And also, the stories are great placeholders for content knowledge. We need to embed knowledge in something to remember, to store it, to process it, and to recall it. And that's about it for today. If you need to contact me, here is my information. I'll put up all my slides on SlideShare. And thank you. Gracias. Merci beaucoup. Ευχαριστώ. And thank you very much. I'm going to give you the link to my SlideShare so you can download it. And I think Leticia has it, and because you downloaded and you did a marvelous job. Thank you so much for downloading that humongously big presentation. I couldn't upload it myself.
Actually, Nelly helped us because you know Nelly is is our supporter. Nelly is wonderful, so she's always assisting us. So thanks, Nelly. So thank you, Marisa, for your wonderful presentation. Really, really inspiring, and also because you gave all of us an encouragement, because that's what we are doing during this week. Is just the first week is in the EVO is in Techno CLIL. Ice breaking, getting familiar with the platform, with some web tools, and also getting to know each other. And that's what we are trying to do with web tools themselves. So we are using in the Moodle platform, in Nelly's Moodle platform, we are using some of the tools that you mentioned. So we're using the Tag Cloud. We have an Mentimeter, which is an interactive web tool for Tag Cloud, and we are using VoiceThread. So just wonderful that you mentioned some of the web tools that we are using, and some of our teachers, some of our colleagues are a little bit worried. They're finding maybe some problems. So your presentation was an encouragement about the effective use and so how these tools can enhance language learning and CLIL, of course, and that's why we double thank you for your wonderful and inspiring presentation, and thanks for volunteering for Techno CLIL.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you all. I know most of the colleagues in this classroom were Italian teachers, yes?
Yes.
And thank you for your patience to, sit and listen to me garble on in English.
Your English was wonderful. Was really, really slow and clear. So that was perfect.
Thank you so much. And I hope to see you online. And maybe sometime in the future I can work with you and follow your EVO workshop.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Marisa.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to all our participants. So see you in the next webinar. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I'm on Facebook if you need to talk to me about anything. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.